How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you a Rurouni Kenshin 2023 episode review. Today's episode is episode 5, entitled And Then Another. Before I go any further, please, I'm going to ask you, hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified of more videos such as this. Do that, and then that way you can keep this smile on Leonardo's face. So, this episode is the conclusion to last week's beginning fight with Sanouske Sagara, also known as Zanza, because he used the Zanbato. I gotta say, I didn't rewatch the entire fight from the 90s version of this. I gotta say, I love when modern anime, this is how you remake, reboot, restart, reimagine something that has happened before. This is how you do it. Especially Shaman King style. This is good. This is really good. This fight's good. Animation is good. The way that we told the backstory of Sanouske Sagara was very well. Let's get into it, right? So it's the highlight is not just the ending of the fight. It is 3 stages that lead to why this is good. First one, obviously, is the ending of the fight, right? Or how the fight proceeded with Kenshin moving around. He hits one of my favorite Hiten Mitsurugi moves, the Ryo Sosen, which is a continuous strike, right? Because one hit's not going to work on Sagara. He does the cool thing. I remember seeing this in the old one where Sagara swings, Kenshin jumps on top of it, jumps off, hits him again. And as Sagara is, feigning unconscious, we get the backstory where he got his last name from Captain, I think it's Suzo Sagara, who was the leader of the Seki. Oh my goodness, I might as well just pull out my notes of the Seki. I want to say Seki who, guys. I don't want to mess this up. Of the Sekiho army, which is an army just made up of civilians, right? And they helped the revolutionary imperialist armies, they would be the first line of defense. They would go out there, and they did all this with the promise of the land tax cut, so so people wouldn't have to pay as much. And so, we get the idea of what type of man Captain Sagara was, because when talking with a young, probably 9 years old at the time, Sanouske, he's like, you see those houses? Can you tell me what that means? Like, it's smoke. He's like, yeah, that means they have wood and that they're able to feed themselves. I've been in so many places where that's just not the case. And I like seeing this. That's a good thing. The Tokugawa era was ending, and this is 1868, so it was ending, and now more people will be equal. They're trying to put the 4 classes on more of a common ground. Well, unfortunately, the Imperialists, knowing that they would not be able to go through with the promise that they made about the whole classes thing, they decided to say that the Sekiho were a fake Imperialist army. So they're looking for them. They're going to try to kill these guys. One of the soldiers came back and informed him all of this, and he was hurt. And one of his last things that he did was to tell Sanouske and another kid that was with him, I think his name was Katsuhiro, said, you guys stay here. All right. He said, I can't take you any further, but they were going to go to another stronghold just to, move around and try to hold out instead of having to meet these guys who they were fighting with head on. Fighting beside them. Unfortunately, one day they got him, beheaded him. They put his head on a thing and showed it. And it's so crazy that the same people, I don't know if this is just a Japanese thing or if this is maybe a real thing that happens in the real world, where the masses are so easily fooled when they're like, oh, they were fake. That land tax thing they were doing was just trying to get our hopes up. How dare you? he has to listen to all this as he knows the type of man this guy was, who's fighting for a better future for other people. I didn't write down the saying that he always said that Sanosuke knew, but he seemed like a good fella. And actually, later on, Sanosuke compares him to Kenshin, saying, "Yeah, they're both the same." And this is kind of what revitalizes him, right? He wants to fight again because he's like, I can't lose. Because ever since that day, he had been street fighting since he was 10. He would not lose to an Imperialist. All Imperialists are greedy and they do this fake, they talk about fake peace and blah, 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 blah. And excuse me, this is what spurs him on. He does the thing that I remember him doing is he spins it around so he can do a cool move. Doesn't matter if he did a cool move because Kenshin slices, breaks it, and then he jumps up and does the what was the move he did to knock out this other guy? Rio Suisen, which is the jump up, flip it around, slam it down. Um, that's how he kind of nice. He even says before this, he's like, I don't want to keep up this pointless fight with you. And when Sanosuke gets up and he's spouting out what he feels from his heart, Kenshin just walks up and just punches him. He's like, your fight's not with me. And I love that Kaoru and Yahiko stand behind Kenshin. Because Kaoru's like, Kenshin's not like these other Imperialists who care about having a government title. Like, he's fighting to save people in his own way. And even Yahiko's like, if you don't accept it, I'm gonna kick your butt, right? And Kenshin flat out tells him, look, this is my way of atoning of the lives that were lost during those revolutionary times, right? Of me having to spill blood. I'm hoping that even if, just with this sword by myself, I'm hoping that I can save people. And that's how I want to atone. And like I said, he sees the captain in that. Now, we do get a little bit of tomfoolery because the Himuras, that he wasn't packing one gun, he had two guns. And he shoots Kenshin, but Kenshin blocked it with the hilt of his blade, with the handguard of his blade, which shattered from the bullet. I do like that Sanosuke threw his weapon through that big ass, barely meat cleaver when older brother tells younger brother to go break the legs of Yahiko and Kaoru because Kaoru's so shocked that she can't get up. Deep cut across his face. Like, I told you, don't interrupt me. And Kenshin does the Rio Sosen on the older one who has the guns. He's like, yeah, I held back a little bit because I didn't want to knock you out. I want you to experience pain and experience hell. And dude is literally in pain, not being able to be knocked out because Kenshin purposely did it just so dude could feel all this pain. Kenshin is so cool and so cold when he needs to be in this series. Like, him being cool was a little bit more subtle in the older one, but I like how just overtly he goes from, oh yeah, happy go lucky, Oro, huh? What? Gives rousing speech. Remember, he's older than everyone. And has cool battles. You're scum. Someone do something that's gonna make to show you that you're scum. I like it. I like it a lot. And yeah, this is more or less the ending of the show. Pretty much it. He does go back into town after, if I think it was immediately after battle, because Sanosuke finally allows himself to faint when he realizes the type of person Kenshin is, and they get him to the doctor. Apparently, he's not going to be fully healed until 3 months, even though he's a sturdy guy. And and Yahiko and Kaoru kind of coach Kenshin to not feel depressed. He's like, you need to stop being depressed. Like, look, you're not that type of imperialist. We know that. And even guy goes like, I know that dude's dumb, but he had to have understood that. And Kaoru was like, yeah, I think he understood that too. Kenshin feeling guilt for his part in that Revolutionary War to make things better, but seeing how affected many people are. Kenshin's such a good man that he's still holding on to that. Which, of course, they meet up with him. Sanosuke, they go back to Hot Pot. Sanosuke beat up the same guys he had beat up when we first met him. And he's all bandaged up. And he's saying, I'm gonna stick around and make sure that you're not one of those bad imperialists. And you get Kenshin going, oh, we got another strange one here. The funniest thing is when he's like, oh no, my reputation and everything. No, I'm strong and sturdy. Kenshin looks like Kaoru and Yahiko, and each of them pick a spot and just flick him, and he's in pain. Hella pain. And then he walks off, and the girl from the hot pot's like, he left without paying again. Dude, like this, he thinks he's been slick by getting free meals, and that's kind of funny. Now, here is where I lost my collective shit, because after the very good ending song Edge by Rio, please watch that music video. I will put that music video in the description. Her version of a Kenshin cosplay and all the visuals of that is so good. But we're getting to Kurogasa. I thought the series would get to 12. I thought that would be around the 12 episodes. I remember getting to this fight taking a while. At least that's, am I having a Mandela effect? Did it take a while in the original anime to get to these points? I might have to rewatch it on the side. Now, if you guys really want to, if you want to hear my findings of rewatching some of the old with this, the old one's not going to go as far as this. There's tons of filler in it. And on top of not finishing the story of Inishi right after the Kyoto arc, it doesn't compare. I can already tell you, I don't think it's going to compare. But I would, if you guys are interested, I would, rewatch certain key parts that are in both, just to compare and contrast and see what's the same and what's different. Although my memory serves me, I don't remember them getting this close to the another slight spoiler, even though this is an old series that you could read and watch anyway. The fight against the other manslayer, who can, because he made one of the old imperialists, who's now just a dude in a suit, made him freeze with his eye technique. Didn't think we would get this fight soon. This at least is gonna be it's got to be a 3-part. There's no, if this is a 2-parter, cool, and they're able to fit all the cool parts into it, I feel like it'll be a good 3-parter. But man, this show's really good. Can you tell? Can you tell I love this show? I really do. I really do. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, please. Here it is. Yeah. It's more or less a quicker one, right? I mean, there's not, I can look at my notes here. This is more of a thing that you definitely need to see, right? You definitely need to see this one. I'm giving this episode 4 out of 5. Enjoyable. We got another new character coming in. You really can't go wrong with this series. You can't. Just, I will sing the praises of modern anime for what they have been able to do with some of the things that I've grown up with and I've loved. Just, thank you, modern anime. Thank you so much. But yes, the revolution is never over. It continues. You can carry it on. Something that should always be known, even in our waking real world. But please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this, guys. Please be good, be blessed, take care of yourselves, be safe out there. Wash those hands, all right? Be good to yourselves, be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. And make sure you reach out to someone if you're, need someone to talk to, all right? My social medias are right there in the description below. Give me a follow, shoot me a message. Don't be a jerk and I'll respond to you. Just remember there's someone out there that would rather talk to you today than to miss you and more you tomorrow. So with that, I'm Shane. I cannot wait for next week. I cannot stress it any further. I cannot wait for next week. This is going to be great. Until then, I'll see you next time.